The beginning of the film is about a girl who was injured in a river. She was a deep thinker. Only memories of the past are burning in her mind. What happened to her? To know this, we come back 30 years ago. In the jungle of America, we see the same girl, who was 12 years old at that time. Her name was Helena. She came to her dad. Both of them go hunting. Their relationship was very deep. Both father and daughter were very good at hunting. To survive in this desolation, they had to do this. Helena's dad, Jacob, was very good at everything. How to survive in this situation, how to hunt, how to protect yourself, he knew all this very well. With every passing day, he was teaching everything to Helena. This family lived in the middle of the jungle. Helena, her dad, and her mom. Like every day, they went ahead looking for their prey. They reach a deer. Now Jacob was a very strict person. He gives Helena a gun and says that the time has come. Kill your prey. Although Helena aims, stops breathing, and shoots. But the deer runs away from there. Helena was very upset with this. Her dad, Jacob, was also angry. He asks, "What did you learn in so much time? How did he find out about us?" Helena looked up. The wind was blowing. She says that he must have smelled us. Both of them came home. Helena's mom was lighting a fire to cook food. Jacob says, "Don't burn it, there is no prey. So today you will not get any food." Hearing this, she also felt very bad. Here we noticed that there is not such a good relationship between Helena and her mom. That's why she loved her dad more. She was jealous of her mother. Not only this, but the relationship between Helena's mom and dad was also not good. Helena had a lot of tattoos on her body, which her dad used to make. If she did a good job, it would be her reward. I mean, when she used to pass a test of Jacob. Helen was happy in this environment too. Her only friend was also her dad. There was not much here. So Helena had made wooden and leafy toys to play with. The next day, Helena goes out to look for food with her dad. They had set traps for animals everywhere. Seeing one, they were quite surprised, because there was only a wolf's leg there. When Helena asks Jacob about this, he says that the wolf sacrificed its leg to save its life. It cut itself and ran away. Remember, Helena, in this world, it is only important to keep yourself alive and healthy. For this, if a person has to go through any obstacle, he should go through it. And today, Helena hunts her first deer, which they brought home. Jacob had a small cabin, where he kept important things, especially guns, etc. But Helena was not allowed to go here. Now at night, Helena's eye was opened by the wolf's voice. When she came out, the hungry wolf and its child came here, sniffing the deer's meat, which Helena had hunted today. She was watching them, and then Jacob came there. Helena says that we have some bones, we give them to eat. Jacob refused. He says that no, it is the law of nature, we should not pity them. They are just hungry wolves, they will do anything for hunger. If they have to eat us, they will eat, so kill them. If you want your family to survive, but Helena can't do that. So Jacob himself kills both the hungry wolves with a gun. The next day, Jacob started hunting alone. Jacob had named Helena Little Shadow. Helena insisted on going with him. And her dad says that not today, Little Shadow someday. So now her mom and she were alone at home. Then a man came sitting in a small car here. Actually, he was lost in the jungle and was asking for directions from these people. Now because the man and his car were new to Helena, she did not know how the outside world was. So she started looking at them very carefully. Then the worried Helena's mom came out. She says to the man, "Help us. Get us out of here before he comes." She tries to force Helena to sit in the car, but she does not want to sit. The man also says that, "How can I get out? I am lost here myself." A bullet was fired, which came straight and hit the man, and he died there. This bullet was fired by Jacob, who was coming there. So Helena's mom quickly sat in the car and started leaving. But she was not agreeing to go. She says, "How can I leave my dad and go?" Helena was adamant, so her mom forcefully hit her with a stone and made her unconscious. And she successfully made her sit in the car and get out of there. At night, when Helena regained consciousness, she found herself in a hospital. Because she was seeing everything around for the first time, she felt very strange. Then the sheriff came in front of her. She says, "Do not worry, now you are absolutely safe. Your mom is also here." Helena quickly went to her mom. She says, "We should not be here, where is Dad? We have to go home." Her mom says, "That was not our home." In anger, Helena says, "What are you saying, what is the matter?" Then her mom said that Jacob is a beast in the form of a human. He forced me to marry him, he did a lot of wrong. He kept me in the jungle for 12 years. Helena says, "Lie, you are a liar. Dad had told me that I should not believe anything you say." And now she shouts at her mom that I have to go home. But the sheriff came and took Helena away from there. He locks her up and says, "You just calm down." Then it is obvious that she was not going to calm down. It was very difficult for her to accept everything suddenly. She could not resist. Because she was very good at hunting. She knew how to deal with these situations. So she runs away from the window. Now she had to find her dad, whom she finds in the streets of the city, who was whistling to Helena. which she used to play in the jungle. It felt like someone was whistling and calling a pet animal. Both father and daughter hugged each other. Jacob says, "Let's go home, little shadow." And now as soon as they started going, the police surrounded them from all sides. That's why Jacob says that I will definitely come back. Wait for me. Saying this he left. Where Helena starts crying a lot for her dad. And now the story comes from here, 18 years later. Helena has grown up now. But that bad time of childhood still scares her like a bad dream. Because she knew the truth that my dad is really a monster and a beast. He kidnapped my mom and forced her to marry him. He did wrong and kept her in the jungle for 12 long years. First, because she was a child. So she used to like her dad and dislike her mom. But now when she grew up, the truth was revealed to her. Helena now had her own life. She had to get married. She had a separate family. Some of her tattoos were gone. She used to hide the marks of the tattoo on her face with makeup. Because this used to remind Helena of her bad past. Because of this past, Helena had become a different person now. She didn't like to meet a lot of people and crowd. She just wanted to be with her husband and daughter. She used to keep herself busy with her work. She used to work in a company. Because the truth of Jacob had come in front of everyone. So a story was made about him. He was known as Marsh King. According to this story, it was said that he is a very bad person. He lives in the jungle and harms nature. He is a beast who forcibly married a woman and did wrong. Because of this, his name was read as Marsh King. Now Helena used to love her daughter and husband a lot. But here she had made a mistake. She even hid her identity from her husband. That she is the daughter of Jacob Marsh King. Which was a big mistake of hers. She did this because then no one would accept her. Now it was shown that the police were taking Marsh King and one of his companions somewhere else by bus. But these two had made a plan to escape. They came to a dark place and attacked the guard. Then they snatched the gun from him and killed the guard and the driver. And they escaped from here. The next day, when Helena came home from work, she saw the police at her house. She was very scared. When she went inside, an officer told her that your dad, Marsh King, has escaped. Had he contacted you? To which she replied no. But now knowing that the beast has become free, she was very scared. Fear once again began to dominate her. When the police came, her husband also found out that Helena, who has hidden her identity so far, is the daughter of Marsh King. He was very angry about this. Because Helena should not have hidden her truth. Although everyone knew the story of Marsh King. That's why he took his daughter and left from there. So now a police car started guarding there. Because they were sure that Jacob would contact his daughter or try to reach her. And so Helena was now living alone. That night Jacob and his other companion were shown. They were waiting for someone at a gas station. In the meantime, a car came here. Both sat inside it and left from here. The next day, the same sheriff comes to ask Helena's condition. Because when Helena's mom and she were freed from Jacob, Helena's mom had married the sheriff. In this way, Helena became the sheriff's stepdaughter. But she never accepted him. Although he was a very good man, he considered her his daughter. He wanted us to be like a family. He reassured Helena not to worry. Your husband is just angry. He will be back soon. Then an agent came here. Because the FBI had called Helena. When she reached there, she found out that last night a car, when it was crossing the Canadian border, the car had a very bad accident, in which Jacob and his companion were. The whole car was burnt, in which the corpses of 2 burnt men were also found. One of them could be Jacob. Now Helena knew that my dad had 3 golden teeth. So in this way, they guessed that Jacob must have died. Because there they got golden teeth. But here Helena did not understand anything. How should I feel about my dad's death? Should I be sad or happy? Now the next day, her husband came home with her daughter. Although he was still angry. But because he also got news of Jacob's death. So he came to encourage Helena. He asks Helena the reason why did you hide the truth? She said that if you knew the truth, that I am the daughter of Marsh King, would you have accepted me? Would you have married me? Never. His husband says, listen to me. I am ready to forget everything. But promise me that you will not keep me in the dark. Tell me the truth. But here Helena does not say anything. That's why her husband sat in the car and started going from here. But then Helena comes in front of him. She shows him all the tattoos on her body. And tells him everything. That is, she had told all the secrets related to her mother and father. After which she becomes very sad. See, her husband comes close and hugs Helena. And this family became one again. Now the next day, all these people go to Sharif's house. Helena tells her daughter, my daughter, this is your grandfather. Hearing this, Sharif became very happy. He says, wow daughter, today I am very happy. Because I was impatiently waiting for this day. Here it was found that Helena's mother had died. And Sharif had put Helena and her mother's pictures everywhere. Helena tells Sharif that mom always hated me. Because she used to see a glimpse of Jacob in me. Sharif explains to her that there is nothing like that. She loved you very much but you never understood. In the evening these people returned home. When these people were sleeping at night, Helena had a bad dream. That my dad has come to this house too. And is standing very close to me. Then the next day, when she opened her eyes, she found soil in the house. Seeing this, Helena was very worried. Because she felt that dad had found me. And now he is after me. She sees her daughter who was cleaning her dirty shoes. Now that soil could have been of her shoes too. But Helena knows that my dad is such a crazy and dangerous person. He can do anything. Now the next day, Helena went to the market. When she was talking to someone, she heard the sound of the same whistle, which she used to play as a child, and to call her dad. Helena found it strange. Following the sound, she moved forward. She also saw a glimpse that disappeared in the blink of an eye. Even after coming home, she was thinking about it. But she thought that this could be my illusion too. But she did not want to take any risk. So she becomes completely alert. She laid a net all around the house. When she heard the sound of the bell at night, Helena went to check. She saw that a rabbit was stuck in the net. But he had already been killed. Seeing this, she was very scared. Because this can also be Jacob's work. She came home in fear. She tells this to her husband. She also called the sheriff. But both of them tell her that this is your doubt and illusion. This is not possible. Obviously, Jacob is dead according to them. But the next day, Helena finds her toys of wood and leaves in her house. She remembered that these are my childhood toys. She understands that Jacob has given me a sign. He is alive. And has reached me. And he will never leave us. That corpse was someone else's. Jacob had left his golden teeth there to mislead them. So that they feel that he is dead. But obviously, he was not going to die so easily. Now Helena thinks that it is better to face fear than to be afraid. So now she left to face her father for the safety of her family. She came to the jungle. She starts going to the place where she spent her childhood. Her house was still there. Trees, rivers, everything Helena remembers even today. Where she meets her dad Jacob. After so many years, the two were meeting each other. Now he was quite old. But like before, he was dangerous and fearless. Both father and daughter started talking. Jacob says that you will have to come back. Bring your daughter here too. We will spend a life like before here again. I know that you also want this. Because you were very happy. The three of us will go to Canada via ship. And we will stay there. Helena says that I am not going to do anything like that. Because now I have a different life. I have a family, a husband, and a daughter whom I love a lot. And anyway, I know what you did to my mother. You are a beast. Then Jacob replies that she is a liar. I did nothing wrong with her. She came into my life by her own will. Helena started crying. She says that stay away from my family. And there is no need to come into my life. Jacob says okay. Both father and daughter met each other. And she leaves from here. She was moving forward. Where we saw that the sheriff also followed her and reached here. And now before both of them leave from here, the crazy Jacob shoots the sheriff and kills him. He also catches Helena. He forcibly pulls her hair and locks her in a pit. Where as a punishment, he used to lock her in her childhood. He puts a wooden trap on the pit and leaves from there. Then Helena remembers that when Jacob locked her in the winter. Then her mother took her out of the pit. And said that, daughter, I was weak. But you are not. And now because she was not a child. She had grown up. So she could help herself. She climbed on the walls and came out of the pit. She breaks the net of wood and comes out of there. Because Jacob was going to take her daughter. Now Helena knew where the gun was. She went to the cabin. She came out quickly with the gun. Where Jacob was going to sit in the boat and leave. Helena was going to aim and shoot him. That Jacob found out. Before the bullet hits, he dives into the water. Then Helena took the gun and went ahead to kill Jacob. And the war of life and death between father and daughter begins. The war was fierce because both knew how to live in these conditions. How to face difficult situations. But it is also true that father is father. So Jacob was hiding in the mud. He also had the gun. Although Helena had seen him. Before that she would shoot him. First, Jacob shoots her in the leg and injures her. But does not kill her. And now he started taking her with him forcefully. Today he was calling her little shadow. Then Helena says to him in anger. Keep quiet and do not call me by this name. Jacob says, what did I not do for you? Although your mother was weak. Then Helena says no, she was not weak. Rather, you are weak. Who forcefully brought a woman to the jungle. Did wrong with her and locked her up. Jacob says I did what I thought was right. And you tell me. Now what can you do to protect your family? Then emotionally. Helena said in a low voice. That I can give my life. And now when these two were passing from the other side. Then Helena pretends to fall here. Jacob went ahead to help. Then Helena takes him with her and jumps down. Both fall down from very high in the river. That's why they were injured a lot. This is the same scene from the beginning of the story. When Helena was lying in the river in a state of injury. She quickly gets up and takes the gun. She thinks of finishing Jacob's life. Although he also tried to pick up the gun. But he was unsuccessful. And now Helena is not afraid this time. She quickly shoots him without wasting time and he dies. And in this way she killed the fear with her own hands. Along with that forever. She also killed the beast in the form of her dad. And now she could live happily with her family without any fear. Which was no less than happiness for her. And with this, the story of this film ends here.